What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and as you can see by the title and what you've probably heard in the news, the Calgary Flames have made a pretty big move, one of the more significant moves of the offseason for teams that haven't made the playoffs. They have relieved 3 coaches of their coaching duties, including head coach Glen Gulutzan. Now, I thought I'd start off the video by at least reading what came off of the Calgary Flames website, or their press release, I guess. They will be doing a press conference. By the time you watch this video, it might have already happened already. I'm trying to upload it a little bit before the press conference. It might be uploaded right during the press conference, but it's supposed to be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, so whenever you're watching this video, it might already be happening, it might be over, or it might be before it. But like I said, the title of this is Flames Relieve 3 Coaches of Duties, like I mentioned. So the Flames have relieved head coach Glen Gulutzan and assistant coaches Dave Cameron and Paul Gerard of their duties. So obviously, again, a huge move. The Flames want to go into another direction after a very disappointing season. Just to finish this off, Gulutzan compiled the record of 82, 68, and 14 over the 2 years that he was the head coach of the Calgary Flames. And like I mentioned, GM Brad Treliving, again, I always say that name wrong. I hate saying his name. Will hold a press conference at 3:30 p.m. at the Scotiabank Saddledome, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, this is obviously huge. This year, again, this is from Sportsnet, but they had a 37, 35, and 10 record. This is definitely not the way the Flames wanted this season to happen. It wasn't a case of that the Flames were good and that, you know, they just missed out. They weren't as good as they could have been. And with the talent that they have, I found it hard to believe that they were a team that was going to miss out on the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't miss out by a ton, but they obviously weren't close enough to get there because the team has made a decision to let go of the head coach, and that is obviously step number 1 in wanting to retool the team, because obviously we know that they gave up quite a bit of their future to acquire Hamonic for their blue line, so that's obviously playing a huge role in the fact that they won't have a good draft pick this year in a pretty good draft class that everybody is seeming to look at. I mean, look at a guy like Ryan Merkley, just off the top of my head. Obviously, I'm from Guelph, but he dropped a bunch of spots, like 20 spots. But I was looking at a stat saying, looking at Ryan Merkley in 5-on-5 play, that he is just putting up a ridiculous amount of numbers when it comes to assists, and he's like ahead of the entire defensive draft class. Well, most of them, obviously not, you know, guys like Darlene and whatnot, but he is pretty high up on the class in the CHL and stuff like that. So it is very deep. There's a lot of good defensemen, and they dropped him to like the 40 or 50 spot for draft picks this year. So Calgary is going to be losing out on probably a good young forward because they had to deal some of their future. We've heard rumblings, I think Burke and Treliving, if I said that incorrectly, I apologize, but I know for sure those two have been both been giving interviews where they both, you know, recognize the fact that they don't have, you know, draft picks and stuff like that, and you know, they gave up pieces to get a guy like Hamonic, and I'm not mad at that deal. And I mean, looking back at it now, it's like, yeah, you still have Hamonic, but at the same time, coming up to a draft like this, not making the playoffs, it kind of doesn't balance out, and I think that they're probably uneasy about it as well. Obviously, there was a lot of injuries to this team this year, and that played a part to the reason why the Flames weren't as good. But you don't have to tear this team down. Monahan, Gaudreau, Hamonic, what's the goaltending situation going to be like? You obviously still have Dougie Hamilton, too, on the blue line. This team is good. Backlund, the team is still good. And, again, going back to the goaltending, that's something that's going to have to be addressed. Are you going to stick with Mike Smith? I think he was pretty good, but some fans would say just not good enough. The Eddie Lack situation didn't work out to what people wanted. So this is the first step for the Flames. They're going to need to do something. This offseason is huge. Are they going to move a piece from their top of the top 5 blue line that they have in the league. Are they going to have to move a piece from there? Are they going to move a forward? I don't think they will, because they, in my opinion, they need more forwards. Their blue line is pretty much set. So maybe this offseason they're going to be looking at a draft pick for this, making a trade for a draft pick, acquiring maybe a goalie if they don't feel comfortable, or maybe even looking at depth forward. So they're really going to have to make some big moves. They're obviously going to need a new head coach, and I'm just going off of what I've read. This is very early. Literally, this just happened like 40 minutes ago or something like that. So this press conference could tell a lot more than what we've heard so far. So something could change. I might need to make another video later on or in a couple days. We'll see if Calgary is going to make another move very soon, and I'd anticipate that they will address that in the press conference. So let me know if you guys like this video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. There probably will be a stream tonight for the NHL playoffs. I will be there, Audie 6, so I'm not sure if he's going to be there, but I know he's going to want to. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe, because there will be streams talking hockey, talking playoffs. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video stream. Join the squad. Peace.